I feel like the area is worth it. It's really hard-earned space. It's a place you have to really work at living here, but it feels wonderful to get to be some of the people that do that. So I call this my home here in Montana. When I started as one of the younger state execs at age 23, I never would have guessed this is where my path would lead. What I love so much about Montana is the sense of community, the people here. They make a landscape this beautiful stand out even more when you get to work in a spot like this, but you get to work with gems of people at the same time. I started with pork producers in 2004. A little while after that, I met my husband at a sheep sale. I was really nervous and he got the gate for me, and we ended up dating starting a few months after that, and the rest is history. In 2009, Wyoming pork producers came to me and I was asked if I would be interested in taking on the role with their pig farmers. That started a relationship in the state of Wyoming while I still worked in Montana as well. I think for many of us, 2020 was a year like no other. For me, working in community-related jobs, we spent a lot of time working with our pig farmers on how to deal with those situations that had never come up before. It also resulted in some really wonderful things happening, like our work with food banks when we weren't able to move hogs out of state quite as easily, but we were sure able to fill those food banks. On my other side of my job house, at the time I was working in disaster services. And of course, as you can imagine, in 2020, we were working a lot to support the roles of public health. We were also working a lot to support folks that were dealing with scarcity and supply issues on the grocery stores. So our trips to DC were really important. The policymakers saw the people that were actually raising the pigs in Montana. And in Montana, a majority of our production is Hutterite. The stuff that we're working on is so important that members of the Hutterite Church have issued permission for their farmers to leave their farms and head over to DC, which is unheard of. And it mattered a lot more to legislators to hear and see that someone had taken time away from their farm and time away from their own culture to be able to come here and see you. It is wonderful to be able to work up and down the food supply chain, ranging from our farmers to the meat processors that are further handling the product. And so I'm very proud that I got to represent that. Every time I eat a piece of bacon, it's not only enjoyable, but it also represents a lot of hard work from a lot of different entities.